This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Latoya Burrows. Coming up in the news this week, public campus ministry held in the nation's capital, campers get refreshed, and Adventist leaders encouraged to be more effective. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. Welcome to your Adventist News. I'm Latoya Burrows. Thanks for joining us for this week's broadcast. The annual Public Campus Ministry Day for the South Bahamas Conference was held this past weekend at the Johnson Park Church. Public university students gathered in worship, giving thanks to God for His guidance in their lives. Alexandria Scott from the Grandstown Adventist Church and a recent graduate of the University of the Bahamas delivered a powerful testimony about belonging to God.
I started up braiding males hair and I was charging $10 to $20, so I'm making about $50, $70 a day. I was balling. I was in all my glory. And so over time, I started to duck classes, or I was really late to classes, and I started to build up a reputation. I know you know what's happening right now. I started to build up a reputation and something started to happen. I either was failing or barely passing my class. And I didn't care. And I didn't care because, like I said, I don't know why I belong here. And for some reason, my mother still decided to pay. So as far as I was concerned, that's her stress, not mine. So even though I was being as selfish as I was, God still showed up.
She encouraged her peers to fight for what is right and never give up in spite of the challenges they may face. The students present were given PCM ambassador pins and consecrated to God in prayer by Pastor Kent Price, Youth and PCM Director of the Atlantic Caribbean Union. Also administering in the solemn service were Pastor C. Melvin Lewis, Treasurer of the South Bahamas Conference, and Pastor Jamal Franklin, PCM Coordinator of the South Bahamas Conference. In the afternoon's activities, the students took part in a forum held to discuss fraternities, sororities, and secret societies. The Adventist students were challenged to take part in the initiative to start positive outreach ministries on their public campuses. Pathfinder Camp 2018, under the theme Camp Refresh, got off to a good start on Sunday, July 15th, where over 50 youngsters converged on the grounds of Bahamas Academy to be refreshed by nature. We go to Joshua Williams for that story.
Campers from New Providence, Andres, and the United States participated in this year's Camp Refresh. There was time for fun and games, but the instruction given to the youth was priceless. The week was spent learning craft, headed by Karen Florigine. Instruction on tent pitching and honor learning was facilitated by Director of the Johnson Park Pathfinder Club, Barry Sanders, along with daily drill instruction and Bible lessons. Guest presentations were made by several organizations from within our community, including the Royal Bahamas Police Force Central Detective Unit and the National Drug Council. The representatives from the National Drug Council were Marion Pinder and Terrence Johnson. Pinder reminded the campus to always put God first and to acknowledge that they are fearfully and wonderfully made by Him. The presenters spoke about the dangers of drugs and also the importance of saying no to these substances. The youth received an opportunity to display what they had learned from the presentation through song and drama. Here's what campus had to say about their experience at Camp Refresh.
It's my first time sleeping under the stars. I learned how to pitch a tent. I learned how to clean inside it, to set it up. And yeah, because I'm the captain, I learned how to keep everything in order.
On behalf of Pastor Larry Green, Youth Director of the South Bahamas Conference, and Patrick Wilson Jr., SBC Pathfinder Director, a special thanks is extended to the directors and counselors who made this year's campery a success. Camp Refresh 2018 is now history, but the campers look with great anticipation to next year's camp. This has been Joshua Williams for the SBC Media Network.
This year's Segment Leadership Development Conference drew hundreds of Seventh-day Adventist leaders from across the Inter-American Division territory for organizational training in Miami, Florida from July 9th to the 11th. Church administrators, pastors, educators, department heads, church elders, and laypersons came together to gain insight on how to be more innovative and effective as they minister in their workplaces. The conference featured more than 30 speakers from the Adventist World Church, Loma Linda University, the North American Division, and the Inter-American Division. Pastor Balvin Braham, assistant to the IAD President for Leadership Development and Training, said that development is equipping human resources for present and future, so that's what the CELD conference is intended to provide. He said that leadership today won't be leadership for tomorrow. The church must be planning for succession, and that the CELD conference provided the leadership training with a worldview with insights and concepts as to where we should be going as an organization. IAD President-elect Dr. Ellie Henry welcomed the over 600 participants to the conference in Miami and said that they hope that the conference would assist the participants in turning their new skills into noticeable development wherever they lead. Representatives from our union were present, and the administrators of our conference also led a delegation to the meetings. After this short break, we'll have more on the upcoming events in the South Bahamas Conference.
Public Campus Ministries is a ministry provided by the Seventh-day Adventist Church with the intention of empowering, equipping, and embracing Seventh-day Adventist youth who study in public secular colleges and universities to be ambassadors for God and their church where they are placed to study. 1 Corinthians 11:1 says, "Be ye followers of me even as I also am of Christ." And precisely, that is what PCM, Public Campus Ministries, is all about, saying to our professors, our classmates, our friends, to follow me as I follow Christ. The vision of PCM within the South Bahamas Conference is one where we want to transform students on non-Adventist campuses, for example, the University of the Bahamas or BTVI, or Sojourner College, just to name a few, to transform our students on these non-Adventist campuses into Seventh-day Adventist ambassadors of Christ so that they can be able to reach out to them with the mission of our church and reach out to their community and the world at large. Why is PCM important in 2017 and beyond? Because our universities and colleges that are not Seventh-day Adventist-run institutions are now mission fields according to the recent surveys provided to us by the General Conference of Ministries Department. More than 80% of our young people are attending non-Adventist institutions for tertiary education, and we have seen it strategically and prophetically that this is also a mission field where our young people have to be empowered to stand for God. Stand for God in their classes, stand for God in their extracurricular activities, stand for God in their assignments, stand for God not just by word of mouth, but by a lifestyle example to others as to who Jesus is. So we want to encourage every young person within a college or university within the Bahamas and beyond who is a Seventh-day Adventist. We want to ask you, why are you there? What can you do there that will build up God's kingdom? Think about it. You're not just there to study a career, get a degree. You are there to advance God's cause and build up His kingdom. Will you enlist in PCM to be a kingdom ambassador today?
Welcome back, and thanks for watching your Adventist News. I'm Latoya Burrows. The Freedom Clinic USA, in conjunction with the South Bahamas Conference, will be holding free medical clinics from Monday, July 30th to August 2nd, 2018 at Bahamas Academy on Marshall Road from 6 a.m. until. These services will be provided on a first-come, first-served basis, so plan now to attend. Services will include dental, oral exam, x-ray, cleaning, extractions, filling, and oral hygiene education, medical screenings including physical exams, blood pressure check, blood sugar screenings, non-narcotic medications, hypertension and diabetes counseling, pediatric, geriatric, and general consultations. chronic disease prevention counseling, preventative and lifestyle modification counseling as it pertains to nutrition, diet, beverage consumption, and other health principles. You should be getting excited about Y10 Rebirth, the South Bahamas Conference-wide youth evangelistic campaign to be held on August 11th through the 25th. The speakers for the Congress will be Gary Blanchard, Youth Director of the Adventist World Church, Michael Toot Jr., Youth Speaker from the South Bahamas Conference, and Andre Campbell, Pastor of the Elm Seventh-day Adventist Church in Florida. This is a joint conference event, so all churches are encouraged to be represented at this event. The Inter-American Division Adventist Laymen's Services and Industries, or ASI Convention 2018, is slated to convene on August 5th through the 13th, 2018 in Cancun, Mexico. If you plan to join this venture by faith, you would need to reserve your space now. Contact any of the ASI executive leaders or call Ian Green at 556-0492. All women are invited to attend the upcoming Atlantic Caribbean Union's Women's Retreat under the theme, Because I Care, to be held in the North Bahamas Conference at the Grand Lucayan Resort in Freeport, Grand Bahama on October 19th through the 21st, 2008, with guest speaker Sharon Platt McDonald. It promises to be another exciting time. Inquire about registration at the South Bahamas Conference headquarters. Please note that all travel reservations are to be done by the registrant. To receive information on any of these events, visit the conference website at www.southbahamasconference.org, see the weekly logos, or call our headquarters at 341-4021.
The prostate is a walnut-shaped gland found only in men. Its function is to produce seminal fluids which nourishes and transports sperm. Prostate cancer is the uncontrollable growth of cancer cells in the gland. Almost all cancers of the prostate are malignant tumors formed from structures in the epithelial tissue, meaning that most cases of prostate cancer are very serious and harmful. Some prostate cancers can grow and spread rapidly, but most grow slowly. Factors such as age, race, and family history can increase a man's risk of having prostate cancer. At the age of 50, your risk of having prostate cancer increases. According to Cancer.net, more than 80% of prostate cancers are diagnosed in men 65 and older. Black men are more likely to have prostate cancer rather than white men. They are also at a higher risk of developing prostate cancer at an earlier age and also have tumors that are more aggressive and grow more quickly. Familial prostate cancer is when prostate cancer is inherited through the family. This is said to occur only 20% of the time. Signs of prostate cancer are burning or pain during urination, loss of bladder control, and blood in urine. Treatments include radiation therapy, surgery, and chemotherapy. If you want to reduce the risk of prostate cancer, the Mayo Clinic suggests that you consider trying 1. A low-fat diet, 2. Eat more fat from plants than from animals. 3. Increase the amount of fruits and vegetables you eat each day. 4. Eat fish. 5. Reduce the amount of dairy products you eat each day. This has been Carl Kemp with your health tips, courtesy of the Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
We go now to the Adventist News Network for a news feature from around the world.
Thank you so much for joining us this week. Today we are going to share with you some very special stories about Adventists helping those in need. These stories were originally shared by Ted Wilson, president of the Adventist Church, on a program called Revival for Mission.
Today, there are more than 65 million people, men, women, and children, who have fled their homes due to war, lack of food, or violence. They are migrants, refugees, and internally displaced people.
These people have endured the worst of humanity. They have seen their family members killed, tortured, and even starved to death. They are victims of atrocities that many of us cannot even fathom.
We understand this is a complicated issue with no easy answers, but to the Adventist Church and those who volunteer in these situations, this is simply a humanitarian situation, a call of the Lord to protect and comfort His people.
We start with the Rohingya, a group of people fleeing persecution in Myanmar. The Rohingya are a stateless Indo-Aryan ethnic body, many of whom are Muslim. They are called the most persecuted people in the world.
Since August of 2017, more than 500,000 Rohingya have flooded into Bangladesh. Many are women and children. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, or ADRA, has been on the ground to help in this horrific situation. We sat down with Elizabeth Tomanko, who recently came back from Cox's Bazar, where many of the Rohingya have been placed.
The Rohingya are a stateless Indo-Aryan ethnic body, many of whom are Muslim. They're called the most persecuted people in the world. Since August of 2017, more than 500,000 Rohingya have flooded into Bangladesh. Many are women and children. The Adventist Development and Relief Agency, or ADRA, has been on the ground to help in this horrific situation.
This has been our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. We're glad you were able to join us. Please continue to share your news stories or upcoming events by emailing them to us at sbcadventistnews@gmail.com, or feel free to call our media department at 341-4021. For a rebroadcast of the Adventist news, please visit the conference website at southbahamasconference.org or on our South Bahamas Conference Facebook page. On behalf of our production team of Adventist Television Channel 658, thanks for watching. I'm Latoya Burrows. Have a very happy Sabbath.